Hi travelers, this will be your first open reading for January, and it is the day after Mercury has come out of into direct phase. Truly, remember you have 2 more weeks after Mercury turned to direct, and now here we are on January 22nd. I would like to say something to Diane T, I think her name is. You contacted me a few days ago and I have not heard back from you. Let me see. Diane T wanted prices for a reading. I answered you back. It is look in your spam folder. That's if you're watching this. And so I did respond to you, and you can reply back to me at your convenience. So I have with me, listen, last week, every day I had a doctor's appointment, and this week, the same thing. Once the VA, Veterans Administration, gets a hold of you, the military gets a hold of you, you never can get away from them. They're like suckers. So that's why there's been nothing from me and no articles. But anyway, I have with me today the Radiant White deck, La Vida Sibila, and I don't know if I'll be using either the Golden Nostradamus Oracle cards or the Psychic Oracle Tarot. But for sure, we will be using one to wrap the reading up. Just a second. I forgot to light my candle and my incense. That makes it a lot easier to focus and concentrate. I know that a lot of you wanted to know what my take is on the presidential election. I don't know if I will write an article about it or if I'll just make predictions about it. But I'm sitting waiting right now with the Lost Tarot of Nostradamus, taking a look at it. And it's going to take me a while to figure it out what it's saying. But also, I've been looking at it through the astrology, and I'm going to have to disagree with Jessica Adams and say Donald Trump is not done yet. He's not finished. And this is dangerous. So I'll leave it at that. You can do that with colleagues. You can respectfully disagree. And I respectfully disagree with Jessica on the fact that Donald Trump is over, done, and finished. He's not. So, like I said, I have the Radiant White deck. I have La Vida Sibila. And let me turn the camera around and I'll shuffle the cards again. And I'll rifle them again. And we'll see what the cards have to say. Okay? Keep in mind that this reading is general, which means there is no set sign or time frame. Usually my readings I leave out to 2 weeks timing, but there is no timing in the tarot. It really isn't. And so things just happen when they happen, if they're supposed to happen. Keep in mind also that although I may say something that I see something in the tarot, it depends on what you have going on in your life, and the fact that you are always in relationship with other people. They can change their mind about things, and you can change your mind, which alters the outcome. There's my rifle. Here's my shuffle, and this card wants to present itself. That is the moon. So there is our timing, perhaps. First card out. There will be 9 cards down. Here we go. The Ace of Pentacles. The 9 of Wands. The Hermit. The 7 of Cups. The Tower. Last row, the Page of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, and the 5 of Cups. What is the overall energy of the entire reading? The Ace of Wands. Right in the center, I have the 7 of Cups. Before I get started, let me tell you what I see. I have 2 Pentacles, 3 Cups, a single wand, and 3 major arcana. I also have in the spread 2 9s. It's always important when numbers repeat themselves. And for all intents and purposes, there are 2 aces. So the Ace of Wands has an influence over the whole reading. Now I could say with the 2 aces that it spells like a marriage or commitment. And I don't want to say like a marriage, but 2 people joining forces, or a commitment or an engagement. Even in a business sense, you can be engaged in something, or you can be committed to something. I don't know exactly what is going on in this spread, but that's the meaning of 2 aces. But in the center of the spread, I have the 7 of Wands. I'm in 7 of Cups. And everything else is going on around this 7. First of all, 7s stand for, what they mean is, it's a moment of questioning yourself, of doubting yourself. With the cup, it is how you are feeling. You're doubting how you are feeling about something. I'm getting ahead of myself because I'm hearing a lot of things. So the 7 of Cups can be wishful thinking, building castles in the sky, fantasizing. Maybe even this figure here is in relief, so he's in a nightmare. He's dreaming about all of these things. But what it says really is that you have a lot of choices. So many choices, you can't pick the correct one. But also the 7 of Cups says, if you can identify the most important thing in this soup, then you can pick the things out that are most important to you. First, you have to pick out the most important thing. See, here we have self-actualization. There is temptation. There is property. there is riches, there is peace, there is power. So you have to decide which one of those things that you really desire. And from there, you can pick out the second and the third thing, because the truth is you may not need all of those things to get where you're going. It also says, the Seven of Cups, that you absolutely, positively can get what you want, but it depends on what you choose. And it also says that there may be a surprise. I say there is here according to the Tower. So the cards are read past, present, future, past, present, future, interplay of the cards. At the top row, we have the moon. And the moon speaks to emotions, sometimes fears, hallucinations, fantasies. It can speak to those deep psychological things which cause us deep emotions. So feeling something quite strongly, I think. But if you can look at the moon like you can look at the Seven of Cups, this is the contest between the domestic side of us and the wild side of us. And the thing crawling out of the water, the crustacean, are our fears. When you can see everything more clearly by the light of the sun than you can more clearly by the light of a full moon. It's light, but you can't see everything. Shadows take on different forms and subjects. And so the card says that no matter what happens, you have to walk the path. You have to conquer your fears, maybe. And the Ace of Pentacles is about either a new financial opportunity or doing something new, taking a new path. In which case, there could be lots of fears and lots of confusion when you're trying something new. It's not always about finances. And it says that the energy of the ace is becoming available to you. But here we have the Nine of Wands. And in this instance, this looks like somebody who's already tired and who's taking a rest for whatever reason. It implies that there have been fights and battles. You feel beat up and bruised, and now you are taking a break, resting, but you have enough energy to get back in the fight if you have to. That's what nines are all about. Nines are another moment of pause and reflection, and a focus on completing an event. It says that you are of good and strong character, and don't be what's a word? Don't let anybody stop you if this is something you really want to do. Next row, we come to the Hermit. The Hermit is another 9. It is also about pause and reflection, but also meditation. And in the lantern of the Hermit, he has the star. Maybe this is some kind of hope or dream or wish that you have. But it says to reflect on it long and hard. We see confusion coming up right here. Confusion and some kind of shock or surprise, something unexpected. And so the Hermit is not just a scholar, he is also a student. As a student, he goes within to figure out some things for himself. his own truth. As a teacher, did I say teacher and a scholar? I said scholar and a student. He is a teacher and a scholar. All right. As a teacher, he is the person or the figure that you go to if you have questions about something. So this could be two things at once. Either you thinking long, hard, and deep and meditating on it about what you want to do, or you can go ask somebody what they have done when they're in a similar situation. He can tell you what he's done, what he thinks about it. But I come to the Tower, and the Tower card represents the energy of Uranus. And Uranus is all about unexpected events, things that happen out of the blue, things which maybe have no explanation, just something that happens. But the cool thing about the Tower, it represents our man-made structures we have built up in our minds or in our lives. I will never be fired from that job. I can never lose that job. That man or woman will never break up with me. They'll never lie to me. So this may mean that you are going to have to adjust your perceptions and beliefs about something. I think so. The Page of Pentacles, pages to me always represent just messages. It's the big beginning of a message. This is definitely having to do with you have to do something different. Something different. Something is coming for you. And this row right here, the page is saying whatever you think about this situation, perhaps you need to gather more information. You need to study what it is that is required of you. But he's basically just bringing you a message. It's probably related to doing something new. As you can see, he's holding the Ace of Pentacles as well. Now here we find the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Cups. Normally she represents a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. But we can all, no matter our zodiac sign, no matter our sun sign, we can all feel like the Queen of Cups. This just tells me, if it's not a water sign, this is you and your emotions. That's what cups represent, how you feel about things, the emotional quotient. It also can speak to what your intuition is telling you. Because the moon also represents intuition. But whatever it is, either you or someone has decided perhaps that the price is too high. Because we see this figure focused on the 3 cups that are spilled over. And it leaves me 2 cups. The same thing as this. If I take 5 cups away from 7, that leaves me 2. So the message is that all is not lost. Yes, there is a feeling of sadness, perhaps sorrow and resentment, disappointment. But why cry over spilled milk when if you just turn around and focus on what you still have, all will be okay. The Ace of Wands is simply a representation of your desires, your passion, your determination, your focus. Maybe this is something that you really, really wanted. And for some reason, it's not for you. The universe says that it is not for you. In which case, he has something, the universe has something, if not better, but equally as rewarding. That's a 5. And it speaks to ups and downs, tense times, tense energies, especially if your emotions are all discombobulated, which I feel that they are. I don't know what this message is about. I don't know if it is about work, if it's about a relationship, or a friendship. I don't know. But I will give you the meaning of 2 9s. And 2 9s mean a financial and career change, usually for the better. And sometimes it means a change of address. And change of address can mean moving from home or going to a new office building. So don't take it as just a personal relationship. The cards are speaking on many levels at different times. The only 2 cards I can't look at are the Page and the Queen, because in effect, technically, they represent people. So what does that leave me? The Ace, the 9 of Wands, the 7 of Cups, and the 5 of Cups, as they relate to the Moon, the Hermit, and the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Pentacles. It tells me nothing. The 9 of Wands. Tells me nothing. Except I think that maybe there is a feeling of everything standing still at the moment. A suspension of events, although you have the upper hand. A house move or change of address, 2 9s. Let's look at the 7 of Cups. This is a time of illusion and of difficulties in decision making. It asks that you wake up to yourself and know that all things are possible. It asks you to narrow down your choices as you have too many options to choose from, which leads to confusion. Push aside those that do not suit your goals, and you are asked to not to be too disheartened by a delay in activities. It will be wise to reflect upon the positive aspects that already exist in your life. You are at a crossroads. or a standstill. And choosing the right path seems challenging and daunting, but you are encouraged to follow your instincts and intuition and try new avenues or new courses of action. The Five of Cups. It tells me nothing. I think the main thing that I can give you from the Five of Cups is that you are to consider carefully before making major decisions, as they will have unforeseen consequences. That's what I'm getting from this card. But now I need to figure out this is a timing, and I don't know when the let me look and see when the new moon is coming, or the first moon that we have. We had the first quarter moon. The full moon in a few days, and it's going to be in Gemini. Which kind of in an odd way brings in the energy of, you know how Geminis like to think. They think about many different things at one time because of the Mercury influence. It kind of feels like that is what's causing confusion. Let me see. I have to pick a card out. So it's happening perhaps in a few days. It could start now, or it could be later, after the full moon. It depends on what you have going on in your life. And I think if you have to leave something behind, you know how I always tell you, you cannot grab onto anything new if you are holding on to the old. It's time to release something. All the signs point to it. Be that a job or a relationship or even just things. I'm going to look at this Tower card, I think. Something happens completely unexpected. You're not expecting it. And in a way, I think you are kind of expecting it. But nevertheless, when it occurs, it's like having the wind knocked out of you. And that makes you decide to, even though your feelings may be hurt, you understand that you have to leave something behind. And I don't think it's a lot of regret. I think there's definite sorrow. I'm going to pull cards on the page. He is in a very important spot. And let me see what he has to tell us. Maybe there is a message about what you should do. The Gran Consolazione. It's a card about all of your dreams, hopes and wishes coming true. Viaggio. This card means someone is away from home. It's travel. And he's traveling to the scene of all of his hopes and wishes. And the Suspiri. Interesting. Now, it's a card of tears and sighs and anxiety. It's as if perhaps you're being left behind. See the ship sailing? But if you look above her head, there is the broken arrow, which means this is a fear of the future. All the discordant energy is coming down on you at one time, but you are projecting fears into the future. That's what it says. And so I will pull a Psychic Oracle Tarot card for you. Please formulate your question for the Psychic Oracle Tarot, no matter what it is. And hopefully it will give us answers. It's another Nine of Wands. It says spiritual strength. And sometimes things happen to us and we are weak, or we feel weak, and it's hard for us to dig down to find our spiritual strength. But if you rest on that, I think you will be okay. Spiritual strength. This card is coming forth to give you encouragement and remind you that you have the inner strength to complete whatever you've been working on. It's the same card as this. It's kind of the same message. This final spirit card represents courage, discipline, stability, and persistence. You may be tired and weary from the struggle, but now is not the time to give in. Instead, tap into all of your inner reserves for that one final push to achieve the desired outcome. And listen, even if the outcome is not what you thought it was, who's to say that the universe doesn't have something better in store for you? You've been through so much to get to this point, and even though you may have acquired some scars from the battle, you're wiser and stronger for it. The enlightenment you've gained will be an invaluable resource. You may also notice that you're experimenting with different things in your life at this time, and all of these experiences feed your spirit and offer you knowledge for the future. I could not have said it better myself. And so, that's it. Until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.